Robot lawn mowers sound expensive, and most of them models for $1,000, $2,000, even $3,000, and suddenly pushing a regular mower starts looking reasonable again. But here's the twist. There are still a few robot mowers under $500 that can actually make sense if your lawn is small enough and your expectations are realistic. Some need boundary wire, some are wire-free but limited, and one of these might be the cheapest way to stop mowing without buying a premium robot. Before we start, drop your lawn size in the comments. Tiny front yard, small city lawn, quarter acre, or something bigger, because under $500, lawn size is everything. At number 5, the Farm V200. This is the risky budget pick. It shows up around $399, which instantly makes people stop scrolling, because wire-free robot mowers usually cost way more than that. The Farm V200 is marketed as a perimeter wire-free robot mower for small lawns, usually around 2,000 to 3,500 square feet. That means it is not built for big yards, wide open acreage, or complicated lawns with 10 zones and a bunch of slopes. This is for someone with a small, simple lawn who wants the robot mower experience without spending premium money. The biggest hook is obvious: no boundary wire. That alone is huge, because laying wire is the part many people hate most about robot mowers. You have to measure, peg it down, connect it, test it, fix dead spots, and hope the mower behaves, so a cheap wire-free mower sounds amazing. But here's the warning. This is not a proven premium brand like Husqvarna, Segway, Momotion, or Works. Ratings and feedback are limited, and the listing history is not as confidence-building as the bigger names. So I would treat this as a budget experiment, not a guaranteed long-term investment. If you want a low-cost robot for a very small lawn and you're okay with some risk, the V200 is interesting. But if you want dealer support, a polished app, long-term parts confidence, and lots of owner feedback, I would be careful. Would you take a chance on a cheap wire-free robot mower, or would you rather buy from a known brand? Because the next mower is more old school, but maybe safer for some people. At number 4, the Yard Force MB400. This is the budget-wired option for people who do not mind a little setup work. Depending on retailer and sale pricing, this mower can land well under $500, especially in the UK and deal-heavy markets. Some listings and promotions have put it in the 200 pounds to 350 pound range, which is exactly why it keeps getting attention. The MB400 is designed for gardens up to around 400 square meters. It uses a 20-volt battery, has a 16-centimeter cutting width, adjustable cutting height from around 20 to 55 millimeters, Bluetooth app control, and safety sensors like lift, tilt, turnover, and obstacle detection. That is a decent feature set for the price. But the important part is the boundary wire. This mower needs wire installation, which means setup is not as simple as dropping it on the grass and pressing start. You have to define the mowing area, place the charging station, run the wire, peg it down, and make sure the mower follows the boundary properly. For some people, that is annoying. For others, it is worth it because wired mowers can be more predictable once they are set up correctly. The Yard Force MB400 is best for small to medium, simple gardens where the owner wants app scheduling and does not mind the first-day setup. The downside is that it feels older compared to newer camera-based and wire-free mowers, so if you hate wires, skip it. But if your budget is tight and your lawn shape is simple, this is one of the more practical, low-cost robot mower options. Quick question. Would you rather spend less and install wire or spend more for wire-free convenience? Because the next mower takes the opposite approach. At number 3, the Lawnmaster Okumuw16. This is one of the most interesting cheap robot mowers because it avoids the whole boundary wire problem. Instead of a perimeter wire, the Okumuw uses camera and sensor navigation with optical grass recognition. In simple words, it tries to recognize where the grass is and stay on the lawn without you installing a full wire system. Price-wise, it usually sits around £299, $99 in the UK, which keeps it well under the $500 idea for many buyers. It is designed for small lawns, usually up to around 150 square meters. It has a 16-centimeter cutting width, uses the Lawnmaster MX 24-volt battery system, and is meant to be a simple drop-and-mow machine. That is the main appeal. No app, no charging dock, no outside power socket, no boundary wire. For people who hate setup, that sounds beautiful. You put the battery in, place it on the lawn, and let it work. But there is a catch. It needs clear lawn boundaries. That means raised edges, walls, fences, or clear borders help a lot. If your lawn blends into flower beds, gravel, paths, or open areas without defined edges, you may need to think carefully. It also works best on smaller, simpler lawns. This is not the mower for a huge property or a complex yard with lots of zones. But for the right person, this mower is clever. It is best for small UK-style lawns, front gardens, simple back gardens, and people who want a robot mower without dealing with cables and docking stations. If you want the easiest entry into robot mowing under $500, the VISIMOW18 is one of the best options, but number 2 is newer, cleaner, and feels more like where budget robot mowers are heading. At number 2, the Bosch VISIMOW18V-100. This one is important because it feels like a 2026 answer to the budget robot mower problem. Instead of using boundary wire, the Bosch VISIMOW uses smart vision camera technology. It is made for small lawns up to 100 square meters, so again, do not expect it to handle a big yard. But for a small garden, it is one of the cleanest options under the $500 style budget. Pricing is usually around £335 to £393, depending on whether you buy it with battery and charger. That keeps it in the affordable robot mower conversation, especially compared to premium wire-free robots. The setup is the big selling point. Bosch promotes a simple 3-button process, and reviews have praised it for being easy to use. There is no boundary wire, no RTK antenna, and no complicated mapping system. That makes it perfect for people who want a robot mower but do not want the technical headache. It has a 16-centimeter cutting width, a cutting height range around 20 to 60 millimeters, and it uses Bosch's 18-volt power for all battery platform. That battery platform matters if you already own compatible Bosch tools. Now the downside is control. This is not the robot mower for someone who wants a powerful app, detailed maps, custom zones, or premium smart features. It is simple by design. Also, 100 square meters is small. If your lawn is bigger, move on. But if you have a small, simple lawn and want wire-free mowing from a known brand, the VISIMOW18V-100 might be one of the most exciting budget picks of 2026. And I want to know, would you rather have a simple robot with fewer features or a smarter one that takes more setup? Because number 1 is older school, but it gives you the best coverage for the money. At number 1, the MowRo RM24A. This is the top pick because it gives you one of the strongest coverage claims under $500, especially for US buyers. The RM24A has been listed around $399, which is very aggressive for a robot mower that claims to handle up to 1/4 acre. That is the big reason it wins. Most robot mowers under $500 are tiny lawn machines. The MowRo RM24A at least gives buyers a shot at covering a more normal small residential yard. It uses a boundary wire setup, so you will need to install the perimeter wire and guide the mower properly. That is the trade-off. But once it is set up, it can mow automatically, return to charge, run on a schedule, and keep your grass trimmed without you pushing a mower every week. Key details include a 9.5-inch cutting width, adjustable cutting height around 1 to 2.4 inches, rain sensors, quiet operation around 65 decibels, bump sensors, a security pin, and slope handling listed up to 50%. That is a lot for the price. This mower is best for homeowners with small to medium lawns who do not mind boundary wire installation and want the most mowing area possible under $500. It is not as fancy as the wire-free premium robots. It does not have the coolest mapping technology. And the setup will take more effort than something like the Bosch or Lawn Master. But if you want the most practical under $500 robot mower for coverage, the RM24A is the one I would look at first. Just remember, robot mowers work best when they maintain grass regularly. They are not meant to rescue an overgrown lawn after 3 weeks of neglect. So if you want this to work well, let it mow often and keep expectations realistic. So those are 5 robot lawn mowers under $500 are close enough to watch for in 2026. The Farm V200 is the cheap wire-free gamble. The Yard Force MB400 is the old-school boundary wire value pick. The Lawn Master VISIMOW16 is the simple drop-and-mow choice for small lawns. The Bosch VISIMOW18V-100 is the newer wire-free budget option for tiny gardens. And the MowRo RM24A takes number 1 because it gives you the best coverage claim for the money, especially if you are shopping in the US. But now I want to hear from you. Would you trust a robot mower under $500, or would you rather save up for something from Segway, Momotion, Works, or Husqvarna? Drop your lawn size and budget in the comments and tell me which one you would actually buy. If this helped you avoid wasting money, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.